Okay, it looks like we got some ridiculously good working weather for the first part of this week. It was dumping at my house, probably still raining there when I left. Looks like it's done for up here today. Supposed to not really get above 70, which is perfect. I'm going to fly the drone again this morning because I'm not sure how the footage turned out from Friday afternoon. I think it was pretty bright and I was pretty cooked. So we'll do that again real quick before the week starts, but the project today is Lean-Tos. We're gonna make some hay here. I've got all the lean-to packages laid out over here. Not sure exactly how it's gonna go, but we'll figure it out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna start over there or here, but I'll put a bunch of stuff together and fire the crane up to use it. I think I can manhandle those shorter beams around pretty good. I'm going to attempt to assemble them with the inner and the outer and maybe brace it up with a stiff back somehow to see if that makes it easier to set. I know I can't do the back one because I can't reach it with the crane, but I'll for sure set the inner one when I do it because I can get that with the crane and then piece that other piece on. But I also have a tie beam to put up in there as I go, so one way or the other will get her going. When I do fire the crane up, I gotta plug in the scissor lift. I won't have power here until they said the 8th or 9th of August. I think the 1st of August is this Thursday, so that puts, I guess it would be Thursday and Friday of next week. So I've got basically 2 weeks to go till I get power on that Friday. So anyway, kind of lame. That's where we're at. So I've got plenty of room here, and I'll see about laying this thing out. I'm gonna look at the plan real quick. This one is E, it's gonna go there. I don't know if that really, if I should start there or maybe, because it's gonna kind of X me out of access there. I'll have crane access, but I'm not sure I wanna lose my front access, I may want to go from back to front. That actually might be a good idea. Either way, I got to move a bunch of stuff. I can either, yeah, you know, I'm going to start there, and I'll tell you why. Just thinking out loud here is I'd have to move all this to start at the back, and then I couldn't assemble the whole thing anyway. So I will have more access coming in from the side here as I work my way into there. And as I've sorted these, I can move these down to the other end at the left side package for each bent. So that's what we'll do. We'll lay this one out right now. All right, I'm not discerning appreciable benefit to attaching the lower part out there. So I think for this first one at least, I will try to, I'm just going to put this one section together with a post on it, fly it up with the crane, set it. There's no plate connection between the tie beam of out there and this post, so it doesn't really matter if I put it together on the ground or not. So anyway, that's how I'm going to proceed. Get this to the mark, and I also got to get that flush. Shove it back from there. It's like Martinez put that hole right there for me. Okay, we'll plate that. Okay, I've got the crane slacked enough to unhook that when I'm ready, but not enough that if it fell over it would fall on me. So I am going to hook the come along up to the forklift and kind of pull out on that so I have a little bit of control, and anchor that one corner in and go from there. Well, it took a minute to crack the code on that one. That was, I don't know, 15 minutes. But I thought it was more important to get those in as I go so that I don't get a whole bunch of this stuff up, cranking stuff in every direction that I can't control. So that's kind of how we're going to go. I'll probably just do the inside row of lean-to first and then go from there. So we'll do, to be clear, inside row, lean-to, and then, oh man, camera's getting all wet. And then this other tie beam through there as we go. All right. All right, this next bundle in here is the A bundle, so it's the other gable, so it's the back end, which is the one I talked about this morning, only being able to put in the inner lean-to, which is what I'm going to do next, just because I'll get this pile processed and out of the way. So I'm going to take the pile for the left end of A and stack it over in long-term storage now that we know when the power company is not coming, so I'm not worried about taking up space over there anymore. So I'll move that and start on that next bent. All right, a couple things I forgot to do on the first one that I'll do on this after lunch. It's lunchtime now. Is I got a layout for the purlins. I forgot to do that on the first one. And there's a block that came in, the hardware box, that needs to go on there to hold up the outer lean-to rafter. And it looks like, well, it's like one of those, but it goes right there. So we'll do that after lunch. It's getting wet out here. I also forgot to do everything I said I was going to remember to do before lunch. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to lay out for purlins, and I'm going to screw the block on there and cut the zero line. All right, I can't screw that in yet. The thing's leaning out real bad. The whole thing's twisted and corked, so I gotta pull that in. I'll probably put the forklift on it, shove it in, stand it up straight, and then get it on those brackets, and that should get the process started. I've got the come along over here, wrenching that thing around. It had about more than a quarter twist in it. I don't know what else you're supposed to do with it. We'll go tighten that up, bolt it in, that'll be that. I just realized, even though I don't have power here, I can use the forklift to run the scissor lift up to the house to charge it up overnight. That's a day and a half of use anyway, probably needs a charge, so I'll do that this afternoon. Oh, it shrunk up twice. Okay, let's get it sunny. When I first opened the kit up, I was looking at some of these blocks and they were cut seemingly out of square, but after sort of seeing how it goes together, they're cut to fit individual members. It's actually pretty cool. It initially looks sloppy if you're just looking at pieces, because some of them are square and some of them aren't, but then each one of them will follow the corresponding beam that'll match up. Be a tight job when it's all done. Pretty neat. before I put that tie beam in, I'm gonna finish hooking up the bottom of this. There's a bow. It must be out in this. When I look down it, there's a kind of a bow out this way. And so what that's done is kicked this end up. And so the post was floating. So I got the forklift up there pushing down, and that should help shove everything into place. I'll get that screwed together. don't know if you can see that, but I'm like, what happened there? Something's wrong. Slight nuance. Let me see if I can dial in on this here. The zero line on these outer lean-to posts is 1 foot lower, and that's so we got the main floor is 0, but that's an arrow to there, and they've placed a 0 line here for me, but that 0 is actually 12 inches below that. So all my calculations are right, with the exception of it being 1 foot too long. So I'm going to take that back down, trim that off, and reset it. I'm not going to film all this, but I've really got to work that over. I may not do it just yet. I may wait till I got a better position on it. But that rafter is corked super bad. Okay, update on that. I think I can pull out that post, that king post there, and I'll be able to get the wrench, the big beam wrench on the top of it, and pull from the forklift to twist that over and screw it in. I may end up having to put a full lag bolt in there other than the screws, but it'll wait until I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of these together, stack them up, and then set them all before I deal with that. It's not going anywhere now. The bottom's screwed in, so. All right, minor update. These ones are twisted too, these top rafters. So to get those straight, if the truss was bigger, it would be easier to work with them if it was all put together. But what I'm going to do is continue putting the 3 pieces together, plate it, and then just leave this king post out. There's marks for where it goes, but I'm just going to leave it out because it doesn't give me any latitude to twist it from where it goes to where the rafter attaches. So I think they'll still fly okay, but just in case, to make it easier to go together, I'm going to leave that out. All right, so the one thing I don't like about running this generator for the crane is this control is your slew, so the whole machine pivots, and then it's also trolley in and out, so closer to the base and away from the base. And when you're running that generator, you can't hear the trolley engage, so it's possible just through normal body movement when you're slewing the machine to trigger that. So it's just, you can hear it initiate without all that noise. So when it's quiet, it's super easy, but you gotta be really careful with this generator. Okay, that is this end or side put together, the right side, and it's about half a week to this point in the day. So I'm going to cover some things up, straighten a few more things up. I have a brace on down there. I'm going to probably put one on here. I'm not really worried about tying that together right now, but I will at some point. And go down and start putting the other end together. I'm thinking it'll go about as quick because this half week included sorting these piles down and breaking them down and traveling it all down there. So I think I got to put fuel in the generator too before it runs out. Okay. All right, this kind of sucks, but we're gonna be doing this a little out of order here. It's gonna be build only for probably the rest of the day. That scissor lift, I thought it would hold its charge. I don't feel like I used it that much. So it decided to lose its charge, and I'm charging it up right now. So I'll just put together these last 3 frames. If it looks like I can set them and use a ladder to screw them in, I will. If not, no big deal. I'll just put these 3 together and then maybe make a pile of the other ones as well as I assemble those. So. Okay. That takes us to lunch, a little after. That's the rest of the inside lean-tos, and we're gonna put together the outer lean-tos in a pile after lunch and go look at a job to finish up the day. Okay, early start today. The lift is all charged up, I think. It was up at the house. I'm gonna pick up where I left off yesterday and try to put these last 3 frames together real quick. Then I'm gonna set them. I think I'm gonna make my goal of the week to get the frame up, start the bracing process, and get out of here because it's supposed to be about 100 degrees. It got about 10 degrees hotter yesterday than it was supposed to, and it was not pleasant. Also do a little cleanup around here too. Be nice to see some of these piles disappear. Get my stranded camera here. I couldn't get up to it yesterday to get it back, so I'm gonna put that away. Okay, this one's kind of weird. Looks like there's a gap right there and the top is really twisted. I have to wait till this next frame is in so I can pull that post in plumb, and that'll close that gap there and I can finish screwing it off, and we'll see where the top is. I may have to build a version of that beam wrench this weekend that's right angle. I may do that because I need to be able to twist those in a different direction. I'll just keep going like that. What a pain. All right, this one's in, third one is in. This row is kind of fighting itself together. I'll pick up again after lunch. I'll get the bottom of that anchored in and the top's in, so I can put the layout, the rat run on the top there, and I'll worry about that twist later. It's not going anywhere. Okay, that's a wrap for the day and the week. I got places to work tomorrow, Saturday, and in my shop Sunday. So everything's rat run, tied off, plumbed in the corners, everything. Oh, well, I have a couple of posts on the other corner I still got to twist in, and there's a few, well, maybe about half those outside lean-tos that need special treatment. Remember, I got to build a wrench this weekend that's sideways. Everything's blown out, cleaned up. Oh, look at that. Let's grab my level. I took the scissor lift up to the house, plugged it in, and found a bee's nest up there while I was at it. I'll deal with that on Monday. But I'm happy with that. Looks good. We'll start putting the roof together Monday morning.